"You'd better be joking," she said. "Come and take a look for yourself if you don't believe me." She followed him outside. They skirted the partially excavated foundation trench and stood next to what would eventually be the far corner of the extension. "Down there." Paul pointed at something protruding from the soil. Leaning in closer, Amy realised it was the upper part of a human skull. The forehead and eye sockets jutted out from the damp layer of earth at the bottom of the metre-deep trench. If it had been buried a few inches lower, Paul would have never known it was there. "Shit!" She blew air through her cheeks. "This is awful." "You can say that again. It's going to delay everything. There's no chance of getting the extension finished before the new year now." Amy wrapped her arms across her body and glared at her brother. "Paul, are you for real? A body, somebody, has been lying here for God knows how long, and all you're bothered about is the extension." "Come on, sis, don't give me a hard time. Our inheritance is tied up in this house. We need to get the work finished, sell up and move on to the next project. That," he pointed into the trench, "is a bloody disaster. The delay it'll cause is bad enough, but if word gets out, it's going to knock thousands off the property value. No one will be interested in buying this place, with or without a swanky kitchen. Who wants to live in a house where someone's been murdered?" Paul's usual flippancy had vanished, replaced by a demeanour that was uncharacteristically sombre, almost hostile. He was obviously worried. "Do you think that's what's happened here, then?" Amy said. "Murder?" "Of course it is. Use your nous. The body didn't bury itself, did it?" "It could have been here for hundreds of years," she said. "A body buried during the Civil War or something." "Civil War?" He scowled, shaking his head dismissively. "What are you on about, Amy? This isn't an ancient battlefield." "OK, so maybe it was buried a lot more recently. Either way, the local paper's going to have a field day." Paul trailed the fingertips of his right hand along his jawline and studied the trench thoughtfully. "Only if they find out about it," he said. "What do you mean?" She narrowed her eyes, staring at her brother in disbelief. "Of course they'll find out." "Not if we don't report it." "What?" she said, incredulous. "No way." "Think about it. If I hadn't dug such a deep trench, or the body had been buried a few inches further down, we'd have been none the wiser." Amy lifted her hands and locked her fingers across the top of her head. "You're not seriously suggesting we keep quiet about this?" "Why not? If I pour the concrete foundations now, this little problem will stay buried forever. No one will know but us." He leaned back and let the muscles in his shoulders relax. Just talking about a solution seemed to have calmed him. Paul's proposal offered a quick fix, an easy way out, but Amy was horrified by the idea. She spun away from the trench, groaning with exasperation. "Firstly," she said, "this is not a little problem. Whoever it is lying down there was once a living, breathing human being. Don't you think they deserve some kind of justice, or a proper burial at least? And secondly, what if the person responsible for this is still around? They know what's hidden here. If they get away with it, what's to say they won't do it again somewhere else?" "Bloody hell, sis." Paul rubbed the back of his neck and kicked irritably at a clump of soil with his work boot. "Why do you always have to be such a goody two-shoes?" Amy peered down at the skull, into the empty eye sockets from which someone had once looked out, at the face of their killer. Every house has its own secret history, she thought, remembering the height marks scratched into the pantry wall. Some things are best left hidden, but this definitely isn't one of them. She pulled out her phone and dialed 101. Chapter 2. Detective Inspector Isabel Blood gripped the steering wheel of her car and drove through the streets of Bainbridge as fast as the speed limit would allow. She was heading to the secondary school where her youngest daughter was a pupil. At Isabel's age, attending a parents' evening...